Tá certo aqui? Vamos. Alright. Hello everyone, eu estou aqui com Tiago e hoje o vídeo vai ser um pouquinho diferente porque eu estou conhecendo o Tiago pela primeira vez, pessoalmente, a gente já se conhece pela internet e eu não conheço muita coisa sobre ele, então vai ser muito bom para mim e vocês vão conhecer ele junto. Então vou fazer algumas perguntas meio básicas em inglês, a gente vai ver onde vai essa conversa. Criançada, como é?
Eles vão achar que a gente tá no kindergarten.
All right, Tiago. So first of all, where are you from
Okay.
and what do you do? Those are some good basic questions.
Okay. I'm from Brazil. I was born and raised in Feira de Santana, Bahia.
Okay.
Right now I'm living in São Paulo.
Okay.
It's been 3 years since I moved to São Paulo. And I am an English teacher.
Yeah.
I'm an actor and also filmmaker. So I do lots of stuff, you
Very
know,
cool.
like especially related to performing arts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you said you're an actor. What do you act in? What type of things?
Yes.
Do you do?
Most of the time I'm in musical theater.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you sing and dance?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
We've been here in the United States touring with our group
Oh, very
a couple of years
cool.
ago.
And what kind of dance do you do?
Depends on the show, but we do jazz, we do hip hop, we do contemporary,
I love that.
you know.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool. I didn't know that. Awesome. And why did you decide to start studying English? Where did this interest in English come from?
I always say that through movies.
Okay.
You know, there's this thing called Sessão da Tarde in Brazil. They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And we used to watch those movies and everything about the United States, the houses, the schools. It really caught my attention, you know, very different from my reality. So I was really curious about that language and also coming here to this country.
Yeah. And what's really beautiful with movies that you mentioned is besides the language, you're actually seeing the culture, the differences.
Yeah.
A lot of people come here and they notice like the yellow school buses. Like, oh, it's just like in the movies.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of an escape in some ways to a foreign place. I love that. And when you first started studying English, what did you think? Did it come naturally to you? Was it frustrating?
It was a mix of everything, but especially because when I started studying English, I didn't have the resources.
Okay.
So my mom used to work as a maid.
Okay.
And I used to ask her, Mommy, can you try to get some English dictionaries or some kind of material with the people that you work for? I also found a school that they used to throw some books away, the garbage, and I would go take those books and materials.
Good for you.
I was really focused, but I didn't have any type of audio resources to study, you know, to improve my pronunciation. So for so long, I studied vocabulary and structures, but I couldn't really speak.
Yes.
You know, so that was frustrating.
Yeah.
But after a while, I was able to get those tapes, you know, those white tapes.
Yeah.
With those like conversations and dialogues and everything.
Yeah.
And then later on CDs.
Okay.
And I would memorize all of the dialogues, you know, from the CDs and shadowing. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
I was doing something.
Isn't that interesting? There's things that you do kind of instinctually.
Yeah.
That you know it just helps, but you didn't know that there was like a name for it or that actually was like a proven technique to help you learn. Yeah, but I do think that's something that a lot of people relate to because back in the day, back in the dinosaur age when I was a child too, we didn't have access to audio content, even video content like we do now. And learning without that input is really challenging.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think nowadays we're realizing that, you know, input, just immersing yourself as much as possible and actually just being truly interested.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing that I think people underestimate Genuine interest in learning. Like if you're genuinely interested, and you can't really sell that. You know,
Yes.
like the person has to want it, the person has to be interested, because then you're listening and you're paying attention and you're repeating and you're, actively involved in it, and that makes a really big difference.
And the culture really helps that.
Yeah.
Because if you, for example, I always loved watching American movies and listening to English songs, to pop artists, to R&B. I love R&B,
Yeah.
Mario, Chris Brown, and all of those singers, you know. So I grew up singing and listening to those types of songs. So that really kind of helped me because it was something that I was already interested in.
Yes.
So it helped me a lot.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, your English is super good. So
Oh,
you
thank you.
definitely do what he did.
Thank you.
Take notes. It works. And did you imagine yourself being an English teacher at any point?
No.
No.
Not
Okay.
really. You know, I had a dream, back in the day, like having a English diploma would say like certificate or something like that. Used to mean a lot, especially to get a better job or something like that.
Yes.
Nowadays it's not that important anymore. If you're able to speak, they don't care if you have the paper or not.
Exactly. Right.
But back in the day, like you should have it.
Yeah.
And I used to talk to my parents, say, my dream is to study English, and that's cool, and all of that. I studied English when I was like 9 years old.
Okay.
And then when I was around 16,
Okay.
I was able to go to a regular English school. I took this like level test or something like that. And then they put me in a pre-advanced level.
Oh, great.
So to pay the school, I would teach English in my community.
Okay.
So that's how I became a teacher,
And do you feel that you learned more as a student or more as a teacher?
I think both.
Yeah.
But the level I was teaching was very basic,
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
We had fun.
And you did go to the United States. You spent some time in the U.S.
Yes.
How did that happen, and what brought you to the U.S.?
This dream to make movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always been a dream to attend New York Film Academy and study filmmaking. Since I was a little boy, like that was my dream school.
Yeah.
And I always loved to write stories and plays. So I'm Christian, so at my church I was the director for performing arts program and everything.
Nice.
So I think I'm really good at creating stories,
Yes.
and it's things like that. So I did this movie in my hometown. We fundraised. We were able to raise 30,000 reais, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we made this feature film, which we got 7 nominations
Oh
in
my goodness.
International Film Festival.
And how old were you?
I was 21.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then we got 3 of those the awards. And after that, I kind of thought, okay, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna try to go to United States to study film.
Yeah.
And I make this plan, like telling my story. And I didn't tell the school that I didn't have the money to pay the tuition, all of that.
Okay.
So I enrolled myself, and I was in all of that process, like interviews and English tests and portfolio and all of that. And I was approved through the whole process. And then they told, okay, Tiago, you're approved. This is your invitation letter, but this is the money that you gotta pay. And I made this video online telling my story, telling people how important that was for me and how I started studying English and what I had returned to my community, and then people started donating money.
Good. That's amazing.
That was pretty cool. They took me to TV, to radio, to newspapers.
To like help promote your story and
Yeah.
get more donations.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
And then, but I was able to raise just 6,000 reais, and I needed so much more. And I remember on November 30th, I was at my house, and I got this email from the school saying that there was a deadline to pay the school. We just had the that 6,000 reais. And then somebody here in the United States watched my video, and they paid my school.
Like the whole thing?
Yes.
The whole full tuition?
And I didn't know, and there wasn't the deadline.
Ah.
And I got the receipt and the invoice and everything.
Oh my God. What was your reaction?
I was crying just like a movie.
I'd be like, what?
I was crying just like a movie. And a couple of days later, I got this calling from this person through Facebook. And he said, before you were born, my parents lived in your city. And my dad used to be a bricklayer.
Yeah?
And your daddy built the house of my family. And we never forgot about him. So that's why we're helping you out. We're helping you out.
Oh my goodness, I just got goosebumps. That's so cool. What a beautiful story.
Yeah. And he was at my house last week.
I think I saw the stories on Instagram, but I didn't know like the whole backstory about
that's
him.
Cool.
Oh, that's
and I wrote my story, and I just launched a book.
Yes, I want to hear all about this book.
This is my book. This is a gift for you. I'm
Thank
gonna sign
you.
for you.
O sonho não acabou.
Yes.
O menino que criou asas de papel. I love this.
They denied my visa twice before that.
Oh, jeez.
School, approval and all that. So I had this record of, heartbreaks,
Rejection. It's like
rejections and no's, but I kept moving because education was the only way out from the reality that was raised in, very poor, a lot of drugs and all of that. So I'm really thankful for also to be a good student. I always loved studying. Yeah. But I lost so many friends, my neighbors, the friends I used to live with.
I was going to ask about this. They talk about like when people want to leave the community or when people want to maybe even leave the family to pursue bigger and better things.
Yes.
They call it like when you put lobsters in a bucket, when one lobster tries to crawl out, the other lobsters pull him back in.
Yes.
And I've heard so many stories, and I think there's some guilt that comes along because some people might take offense to the fact that you want more. Yeah. Or they might think, oh, well, he thinks he's better than us or things like that. Like, how was that experience for you? Did you go through stuff like that? Is that why you lost certain friends? Because they saw you going in a different direction?
I think I've always been open about the goals that I had in life. And that was kind of awkward to them, like to hear me saying that I'm going to go to the United States, I'm going to do this, I'm going to that.
Yeah, what were their reactions like?
Yeah, I remember the last day of high school, at the last day of high school, I told my friends, you guys gonna see me on TV.
Yes, good for you. I love that, like confidence that you had. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always wrote my life. I mean, I used to write journals to practice my English writing, but also to manifest the life that I wanted to live.
I love that.
I was so focused on that I used to write like interviews, like journalists interviewing me about the last movie that I did. And I had all of that, that's so funny.
Yes, yeah. But obviously you did the work to make that happen too. Yeah. And I think that's why some people, you can't just like wish your life to happen. You really have to see it, imagine that it's possible, and then do everything you possibly can to make it happen.
And answering your question about the people that stayed, of course I had a couple friends that kind of make fun of me, but everybody knew that I was different. There was something different about me. Every school that I went to, the teachers would say that, because I was that kid that goes to the stage and talks and presents and even preach. I was 5 years old. I was preaching already on church.
So you just were like born with that.
Yeah, I had that. I feel comfortable, in that kind of environment. maybe, and for you that you don't know my artistic work, I've directed a web series for Netflix, a couple documentaries and movies that was screened in the movie theaters.
Oh, that's awesome.
I toured a couple countries with my musical theater crew, you know.
Oh, how cool.
So on social media, people don't know, I mean,
it's
the whole
true. It's
story.
like well, that's so true. That's another lesson about social media. What you see is like 0.5% of a person's life. You know, there's so much else. And I think also when you have a profile that's dedicated to English teaching, you don't really mix all the other things that you do on that same profile. I love that. And were your parents always supportive, or were they ever like worried that you had dreams that were maybe too big or anything like that?
The fun part about that, everybody asks me that. It makes no sense, but they always supported me.
Good.
My dad is a bricklayer, my mom is a maid, and I would say, "Mommy, I want to go to São Paulo because I wanna take that acting workshop for a month, for a week," and then she would bake cakes for me to sell. My dad always helped me.
So now I'm going to shift gears a little bit. So now you're an English teacher, and you're still working in the film and acting and things like that. So tell me about your family life, because I know you're married.
Yes.
So tell me about your family. How many kids? How old are they?
Yeah, I'm married to Amanda. This year we celebrate 10 years anniversary.
Wonderful.
We got 2 kids, Kawan, who is 1 year old, and Kevin, who is 4 years old.
Okay.
They are the joy of our lives.
Yeah.
And we live in São Paulo, far from our family, so it's kind of hard, you know, at times, you know, we miss our parents and sometimes having people to help with the kids and all of that.
Yeah.
But they are such a joy. Me and my wife, she's a singer as well and an actress. So we are in the same musical theater company. Maybe last month, I launched my book and I wrote a musical about my story.
Oh my gosh, I want to know, how do you have so much time? I guess it's like creative energy to write a book,
practice a lot.
to produce all this content, to have the 2 kids, to be doing all this stuff. I'm like...
I take the whole family along, you know, everywhere I go, the whole family goes along. You know, we are rehearsing and the kids are messing around. They go up to stage, you know, like... but it's nice because Kevin, he's very artistic. I post a couple videos with him. He's learning how to speak English.
Good.
So I'm like, since he was born, I always spoke English with him.
Yes, that's
so
good.
he already speaks and understands a lot.
Good deal.
At home, right?
Yeah.
So maybe Kevin is gonna be an influencer or something because he likes the attention.
Yes.
You know, he's very communicative.
Oh, that's great. You never know.
You never know.
If influencers are still a thing in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll be replaced.
That's it.
It's all like AI bots instead.
You're right.
All right. So to wrap up here, so this doesn't end up being too long, to people that are watching this, that have been studying English for a long time, or maybe even have other dreams besides being fluent in English, like what advice would you give to them?
My advice would be never lose the track of who you are. Never lose yourself fighting for any dream. It's not worth it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So make sure that you have people around that are supporters, that are going to be with you in the darkest moments and also in the joyful moments.
Yeah.
And make a little bit every day. You know, don't try to reach the sky at once, at one shot, you know.
Little by little.
Baby steps, a step at a time.
I love that. That's perfect. Yes. There's a saying in English that say, how do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. Which is not the best visual, but when you think about it, like to me, it's very helpful. You want to do this really big thing, but the only way to do it is like, what tiny little step can I take today? Yeah. And I also really like what you said about don't lose yourself in the process.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's very easy to do that. Like you will get offers and be tempted to sell your soul in some ways to get a little bit more fame or a little bit more money, and there's always a cost to that.
We especially with social media.
Yeah.
You know, I've been struggling. I think I had my momentum maybe a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and I wasn't able to replicate that.
Yeah.
And for some time, I kind of felt a little bit depressed because I felt like I'm not interested anymore. People don't want to hear what I have to say. I'm my numbers. I always talk to Lily, you know, and she always tells me, Tiago, you're not your numbers, you're not the algorithm, and all that.
Yeah, it's true. And if you think of, I mean, at least for me, there were moments when I was doing like really amazing on YouTube and social media, and those were not very happy moments in my life. So it's kind of like maybe I was killing myself to produce a lot of content and do really well on the internet, but then in my personal life, I was sacrificing things. So it's like the balance. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I love that. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And now he's going to interview me.
Yeah.
And so you guys got to click on the link in the description to hear this interview. We'll see where it goes. But definitely buy his book, follow him. I'll post all the links.
Thank you.
A very, very inspiring story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys.
Bye.